Let's all ask. I'm ready.
Bandit 1 from Smoky and the Bandit. All right, hello and everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Community Day. I am here with Paul here in beautiful Colorado, and today we are checking out his 1977 Trans Am, so specifically his Firebird. So Paul, thank you very much for letting me, check out your car.
Yeah,
it's
a nice day.
It's a very nice day. So Paul, tell me a little bit more about your car and your connection to this car.
Bought the car right out of high school. First cool car. I had to have my first cool car. It's just kind of a, big next chapter in my life. So this was what I had to have since I always wanted one since I was a kid. And I've had the car 30 years. I bought it in the summer of '92 from a guy in Boulder, the original owner.
Oh yeah.
And I've had it ever since.
Well, I mean, hey man, it is a beautiful looking car, because from what I can tell, everything on here, or just about everything, is original. You've got the original fire chicken on here, the 6.6 liter. I mean, it's all there. I love this car, and some of you guys may or may not know this car was made famous by the I believe it was the same year actually, 1977 movie featuring Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed, Sally Field, and a few others, Smoky and the Bandits, which is a movie about
legendary
movie.
If you don't know, you shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, as you can see, I am doing my best Burt Reynolds impersonation from that movie today.
I'm doing my best beach bum on a nice spring day.
This movie was about bootlegging Coors Banquet beer from Texarkana, Texas, all the way up to Atlanta, I want to say, in 28 hours. So nobody had ever done it before, and so Burt Reynolds plays that dashing, mustachioed man in the blocker car, which is the 1977 Pontiac Trans Am.
Which is what this is.
Yeah, exactly. This is that car.
This is born 1977. It is in the original Starlight black paint. It has not the black interior like the movie, but it has the Firethorn red interior. But it is essentially what people want in the way of that iconic 77 year. There's a couple things that decipher why it's a 77 over a 78, even though they're pretty much identical. And then, of course, the black. Got to have black.
Got to have black on that 77. And a lot of people may not know, but so that movie was the reason why these cars were so successful back then. They became so iconic, like sales for these things skyrocketed through the roof. Despite how 6.6 liter, that's 2 of my engines right now, like exactly 2. So if you were to put them back to back, then I'd have your displacement. But misconception about these cars is they're not actually all that fast, because this was in the midst of the oil crisis and emissions. So 6.6 liters, it only made about 200 horsepower. They had a lot of torque, but they didn't have a whole lot of horsepower. They weren't actually all that fast.
A lot of emissions controls, a lot of detuning, gas crisis. So yeah, they were tuned down not to be as what they once were in the early 70s.
If you were worth your,
but I fixed that 20 years ago.
I was gonna say, if you were worth your salt, you could like you said, fix it, and you could have a screamer. So.
I freshened it up to make it a little better.
All right, so I tell you what, Paul. I'm gonna grab my camera. Let's go around the car and just kind of go over some of the details.
So again, here it is. She's not a trailer queen. This is the way I bought it, cosmetically on the outside and the inside. Cosmetically, it's exactly the way I bought it. It's a driver. It's not a trailer queen, so I can take it out, have my fun with it, not get too weird about it. My wife can put grocery bags on it, and I don't freak out in the garage or this and that. Got a little damage. The front fender flare got damaged. My son ran into a little concrete sign thing when he was at high school drags in a rainstorm. He didn't see it because it got foggy. He didn't know how to run the wipers and the defrost. And
those darn kids.
So he broke a couple things. That's damage.
Now this side cowl over here, is this for the induction?
No, it's just
an exhaust vent kind of. Okay.
It's just a vent. It's functional. The shaker hood is not functional. It's blocked off.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it shakes and it's open, but you're not getting fresh air.
You're not getting induction through the shaker hood.
It's non-functional, but it looks cool. Most people would cut these out.
Really?
Or punch holes in them. to make them functional. So
Oh.
it's rare to find the ones that aren't cut. I was tempted many times when I was younger, when I bought the car when I was 20 in the summer of 92, 30 years ago.
All the cool kids are doing it.
All the cool kids are doing it. My brother did it. He had a Trans Am too. He had a couple of them. So I never cut that. I'm kind of glad I never did. The flares, the difference between this and maybe the Firebird was not just decals, but the shaker hood, the side vents, the fender flares, the spoiler. I had this old dude years and years ago had a Formula 400 Firebird, like a 1970, really nice. The high horsepower, good stuff. And he said he didn't want to buy a Trans Am at the time because he didn't want Tupperware on it. He called those parts Tupperware. I'll never forget that. He's like, I don't want Tupperware on my car, I like this stuff. So this originally came with the Rally 2 wheels, which are like a 5-spoke wheel that are black with like silver 5 spokes.
They were like Pontiac's mag wheels almost.
Pontiac's kind of Magnum wheels or Rally wheels with little trim pieces and whatnot. Of course, I had to switch that out for the snowflake wheels, like the movie. So I found these original wheels. I had them refinished professionally over 20 years ago.
Oh, they look
so
fantastic.
They look good. They're perfect. All the little lines in them were cut from an actual GM lathe, so there's real fine little lines in here.
Yeah, you got the machining marks.
The machining marks, the proper gold paint, clear coated, the original metal center caps with the red bird. You find these aftermarket now. They're plastic and goofy, and these are the original stainless ones, and they're perfect. All 4 of them.
Ah, stainless. It's one of my favorite words.
So
right up there with machine washable and dishwasher safe.
So that's just one of the little details that I appreciate, not having like the aftermarket ones you can buy at like Year One or one of these, catalogs, but
Yeah.
the actual stainless caps, the wheels, the correct size tires, 225 70-15s. Yeah, she's just a driver. She's a driver. She's about as nice as you'd want to have a car and still be able to drive it around without getting weird.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So she's got a little boogered up. She's got a little patina, but whatever.
Oh man. I mean, even so, she looks great, and as a driver, it's character. It's shown that the car actually gets to drive.
Got the Pontiac plates. I don't know, 20 years ago, Colorado went to 7 digits
Yeah.
for their plates. And right when the personalized plates came out, I got in line, and me and my family got a handful of personalized plates, and that's one of them. We got Trans Am too. It's not on my car. That's pretty much it, cosmetically on the outside.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, you want to pop the hood and take a peek underneath?
I'm not used to talking about this, old girl. Can't remember where to pop it.
You know what I love about old hoods is that you don't have to go inside to pop them.
So, here she is.
That engine bay is just chock full.
It is full.
So you've kind of retuned it. Do you know what kind of horsepower it makes nowadays, now that you've kind of...
I never had a dyno.
Fixed
This is the original numbers matching drivetrain. So it's the original engine, tranny, rear end. This is the Pontiac 400. They offer this in a Pontiac 400 or the Oldsmobile 403. So this is the Pontiac 400. I think it's like a W code or something per the body tag or VIN or even on the block. As you can see, it's an XA mark right there. But it's numbers matching, which means obviously the VIN on the block and tranny match the VIN on the car. So it's numbers matching. I found the original build sheet, which I have behind the back seat, which is a common place where they would hide those. So I had the original build sheet, which is like the birth certificate of the car.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Showing where it was built in Ohio, I believe. Blah, 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 blah. So freshen up the original engine. I pulled this out 20 years ago when my son was a baby. That summer. Never do it again. But I pulled this all out myself with help of some neighbors and a friend. Had the engine rebuilt. Nothing too radical, but just your typical stuff. You know, new forged pistons, a little bit of a cam, little bit of head work, just freshen it up because it was a little old.
Give it a little
tired,
bit more
little tired,
attitude, yeah.
Little
Forged
tired.
pistons for that longevity,
Yeah,
a new
so
bumpy stick for a little...
Freshened it up a little bit. I'm guessing it's somewhere around 350 horsepower.
350.
Nothing radical, something that runs good on pump gas.
Hey, if you're using it as a driver, you don't need any more than that. That's plenty to make it, fun and still scream by people on the highway.
It makes noise, it burns a lot of gas, it stinks, and it's fast enough for me. So freshen up the engine, changed out the original cast intake to an Elderbrock aluminum. I still have the original Quadrajet 4-barrel carburetor. Swapped out the original cast exhaust manifolds to ceramic coated hooker headers.
Okay.
And then went with 2.5-inch stainless exhaust with some Magnaflow mufflers, and then the original tips. So it sounds good. It breathes better. It's a little more spirited to drive in town, stoplight to stoplight. Original turbo 350 transmission, 3-speed automatic transmission. I had that redone. There was nothing wrong with it, just freshen it up.
Yeah.
Put a 2200 stall converter in it and a shift kit. So it gets things going okay.
Okay.
And then the original rear end gears were a 256, I believe, gear ratio. And definitely a highway gear. So you can go as fast as you want on the highway. But I switched that out to 373 posi. And so it's a little more fun stoplight to stoplight. My shoe's dirty in here. Gosh, I haven't popped the hood and looked at it in a long time. Wow.
Oh, it's fine.
It's dirty.
I have seen a lot worse.
So when I pulled this out, I pulled the engine out, had it all rebuilt. I had the engine compartment sandblasted and professionally painted. So all this inside is clean and new, and all the little details are original the way it should be, as far as the air cleaner and the breather tube and the inlet hose and your overflow bottle, stickers, e-sticker. I mean, all the stuff in here is correct. All HVAC has been redone, so it has new radiator, new air conditioning, actual proper GM Delco compressor, blows ice cold air. Everything's new and fresh as far as that. The heater box is new. So everything works. All the gauges, all the stuff works, AC. So it's comfortable to drive. So you can cruise around with your stereo, windows up, cold air conditioning, a little bit of a noisy exhaust.
Be the cool guy on the road.
That's about it.
I mean, I know you said it was dirty, but man, I mean, it's a clean engine bay, just in the layout and the very mild modifications that have been done in here.
Yeah, the only thing not original at first glance would be the aluminum intake. Everything else is correct and the way it should be.
Yeah.
As far as the other accessories, brackets, hoses, odds and ends, everything is correct.
Can we go take her for a drive?
Let's do it.
All right. I love that it's got a little bit of rumble to it in the seats.
Yeah. So interior's original but presentable.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic in here.
It's clean. It's nice. Everything works. What I like driving about this car, other than some of my other buddies who had muscle cars or whatever we could afford or get our hands on in high school, my brothers, my friends, is when you're talking other cars, Mustangs and other whatnot, they're really harsh to drive, Yeah. Steering, the braking, the suspension, all that. This is like a Cadillac, that's fun to drive. It feels just like a NASCAR. It's really tight as far as everything goes.
Yeah.
I have new front coil springs, new rear leaf springs, all 4 new gas shocks.
So it drove like it did the day off the line, if not better.
It's all fresh. All the braking is perfect and fresh. Front disc, rear drum, everything's perfect. It just drives like a new car. There's nothing weird. It's nice and tight.
Oh yeah.
So it's just, it's not sloppy at all.
No.
It's cushy. It's responsive. Talk about speed, you talk about horsepower, you talk about this, that's great. But the drivability to me has a lot to do with it.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, if you're going to have a car that's not a trailer free that you're actually going to drive, I mean, you want to do what you can to make it comfortable, you know. And like you said, other cars like Mustangs and some of the other cars, they can be a bit raucous on your body, which
they can be very unrefined and harsh to drive, and they make noise and they can be fast in a straight line, but just the drivability, you know.
Yeah, and so like on the Mustang, that's why we're actually taking it, you know, down to its bones and we're redoing it top to bottom. The new suspension, you know, power steering, all of it.
You need all those things to make it a little more drivable. You don't have to have all the creature comforts as far as this. This has power windows and air conditioning, which is great, but oh, it chirps second. Two guys in it.
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Now she'll get up and go.
Oh, she's not too bad. Some decent gearing and
yeah. A little bit of oomph in there.
Yeah. But it's just comfortable.
It is. It's very comfortable. And you know what that I'm noticing?
It doesn't rattle.
These seats are incredibly comfortable.
Yeah.
It's no wonder Burt Reynolds made the drive in 28 hours straight. That you could sit in these all dang day.
Yeah, I think they call these these are the deluxe seats. No, these are the deluxe something, but they're comfortable.
Oh yeah, man. It cradles, like the side cushions just cradle my back just great, and it's soft
and for 45 years old, they're still comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So it's just enough gearing for just driving in town, you know.
Yeah.
Doing 45 at 2,200 RPMs. You know.
Yeah.
Just cruising around
and you said it was a 3-speed.
3-speed automatic, the original turbo 350. Small torque converter and shift kit.
Yep.
So it shifts hard.
Yeah.
You know, which is good.
That way you know what gear you're in.
There's only 3. In a perfect world, it'd be nice to even have a steeper gear.
Like overdrive purposes?
Yeah, and then have something like I had in my old K5 Blazer, the 700R4, where you get the 3-speed and the overdrive.
Yeah.
So then you can cause a little trouble in town, get that, you know, action, but you can still get on the highway.
Yeah, so that...
I don't leave the zip code on the highway in this car. I don't.
Yeah, it makes sense. This is... I mean, with the gearing ratio, it's not necessarily something that you'd want to be cruising down highway speeds on. I can't imagine. You'd probably rev at about $4 grand.
Yeah, I'm maybe not that bad, but yeah, I can't go 75 very, very far.
Yeah, and that's like on the Mustang that we have. It came with the original 3-speed manual Power Glide transmission, and we're doing away with that. We want a little bit less
Power Glide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it on the column?
Nope. It's center. Yeah, so we're changing it out for a Tremec T5, you know, giving a little bit less aggressiveness between the gears, giving us a little bit better option for highway and gas mileage, but still having them low end gears for some throwing around corners.
Which is what you want. It's only so fun to go fast in a straight line, you know, look at the drag strip, but that's great. I've had plenty of fast cars, but just the fun of just driving it around, you know.
Oh yeah.
Is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, what would you rather have? Would you rather have 10, this is probably up to the person, but would you rather have 10 seconds of heart-stopping, scary speed, or would you rather have an hour of, you know, exhilarating fun around corners and, you know, and people get their kicks in different ways. I understand wanting to go for that 10-second
I like it
car.
both. Like my son and I, we go down every year to Colorado Springs at the Pikes Peak Raceway, and we drive supercars.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is called.
The hill climb.
No, they have on the actual racetrack. The Pikes
Peak the Pikes Peak racetrack.
So we're driving like Lamborghinis and Ferraris and all that stuff.
Oh crap! So that sounds. How does one get tickets to that?
Get online and do it, and you buy them.
That's awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna have to check that out. Ooh, that's a McLaren up there. Why don't you go and race him?
Yeah.
Or is that one of the new Corvettes? I can't tell.
My son drove the new Corvette. I don't know what that is. My son would definitely.
That's a McLaren.
My son would definitely know.
Yeah, that's a McLaren right there.
out of gas. Coupe, maybe convertible, but I was thinking something sporty like that, something sporty. But
oh yeah, I am not a convertible man, and everybody knows this. I can't stand convertibles, and there's a couple of reasons for that.
If you would have saw my 69442,
442 is a good
convertible,
car.
You would change your mind.
But I like the
I sold that a few years ago.
I like the hardtop 442 more. I like the hardtop. I like the hardtops, man. And it's aside just from the look. Like when you think about chassis stiffening, the convertibles are never going to be as stiff and performance oriented as a hardtop, and they're going to be heavier if you do reinforce them. I also, I'm not. If I want to feel the wind in my hair, I'm going to roll down a window as opposed to roll down the top. If it's a canvas top instead of a convertible hardtop like some of the newer ones, nothing's stopping from anybody getting in your car with a pocket knife. But granted, if it's an old car, there's probably not a whole lot stopping them in the first place because they're not that hard to get into. Their security is not necessarily.
I don't prefer a convertible, but I figure if I'm gonna be in a coastal community, the wife and
I suppose if you live somewhere where the weather is temperate and nice most of the time, that makes sense. Like here in Colorado.
I don't need one here.
Here in Colorado, a convertible makes no sense. It gets to minus 20 in the winter some days and 102 in the summer.
I wasn't trying to buy a convertible when I found my car, but it was the story, the provenance, the color combination, everything was right. It was, of course, more money because you know what they say about convertibles, right?
Enlighten me.
Top goes down, price goes up.
Yeah. All right, Paul. Well, thank you for taking the time. Let us, check out the car and tell us about it and going for a drive. I had a lot of fun.
Stink up the neighborhood.
Yeah, stink up the neighborhood. I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
So if you guys like this episode, let us know. Please like and subscribe. And tell us what you thought about Paul's car and his Trans Am. And, as always, check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can find us at Engine Gremlin and Engine Gremlin 6. Links are down in the description. But yeah, again, thank you again, Paul.
Thanks, bro.
And we will see you guys next time.